today we are starting chapter 18th, and it is basically all this is the is all the ending of the Bhagavad Gita. It is just a summarization of all whatever it has been taught. And previously, the summarization of all the whole chapter, the perfection of renunciation, it is called, because ultimately one needs to surrender. The ultimate goal is to surrender. If one is not surrendering, then we cannot proceed. So the Shraddha ultimately is converting into Nishtha basically. So after that only surrendering. Surrendering takes place when one is doing something, right? Something, and is accepting through knowledge and starting some doing some bhakti yoga. So the renunciation, how whole in the whole 17 chapters, how it goes is basically mentioned here. It's going. Okay. So in the 17th chapter, it was discussed the one modes determine one's activities. We previously, in the first part of the 17th chapter, how the activities, how the faith is there, or what is kind of worship, because different person worship different people, right? So it is also according to the modes of nature, right? Three modes of nature. So the one modes determine basically the activities, faith, and the worship, right? And 8 to 10, it's the food in the modes, how the food one eats, it comes in the different modes, how sacrifices it's done into comes in different modes, how austerity is there, it and penance is there into the different modes. 2022 is charity in the modes, right? What kind of charities one is doing, in which mode one is doing. And ultimately the conclusion, the Om Tat Sat, everything emanates in, everything concludes in basically the Om Tat Sat, the eternal truth, the Vishnu, right? So now the 18th chapter will discuss the weird. It is a little longer section. 78 slokas are there, and in the first part we'll discuss that acting with detachment is true renunciation and brings freedom from reactions. What is called the true renunciation? That is Arjuna and the Krishna answers that the what is renunciation, right? How to think of renunciation, right? How different modes one is renunciation, that will be taught by Krishna himself. And 13 to 18, the conclusion of the Sankhya and Vedanta Sutras will be explained, that actions directed by the super soul being freedom from the reaction, right? What are the how super soul basically directs, and basically which leads to freedom from reaction. 19 to 40, the entanglement of the three modes, we will learn about that. This is all the summarization, right? So it is all summarize of the all the Gita is being done here. 41 to 48 will be the worshipping the Lord through one's occupational work is true renunciation, right? So one was doing one's occupation, but it is surrendered, it is given to the, it is all for the Lord, right? That is true renunciation and brings freedom from reaction, right? That is the ultimate goal. 49 to 55 will be Jnana Yoga to pure devotion. What is, from this is chapter, ultimately this with this Jnana, what needs to attain devotional service, right? 56 to 60 will be working in pure devotional service, right? And 61, 63, right, surrender to the super soul. How to surrender to the super soul, right? 64 to 60 is the most confidential knowledge of all become a pure devotee, right? Man mana bhava mad bhakti, right? And sarva dharman parityajam, right? This is basically an ultimate surrender to the Lord, become a pure devotee of the Krishna. 67 to 71 will be preaching and studying the Bhagavad Gita, right? Who should preach, who should be preached, that will be talked. 70 to 73 will be Arjuna is firmly fixed, right? Arjuna becomes fixed in this knowledge. 74 to 78 is Sanjay's prediction, right? Where Jatra Yogeshwara, right? He will declare that wherever Arjuna is there, Krishna is there. There is always the winning situation is always on that side only, right? So the declaration by the Sanjay will be given. So we start with the first section, which is first to 6 and 7 to 12. Part of it is in two parts. The acting with detachment is true renunciation and brings freedom from reaction. Right? This we need to understand. This is Krishna explaining that how renunciation is basically bringing one becoming makes one free from reactions. Right. So a true sannyasi does not renounce his activities but renounces the fruits of his activities. This is the essence of first six shlokas. Right, that the fruits of this activity should be renounced, right? It should not be done for himself. Second part will be renouncing one's prescribed duties is illusion in ignorance, right? If one is not doing his prescribed duties, a sannyasi's prescribed duties, a grahastha's prescribed duties, and various duties, so that is just ignorance, right? Renouncing one's prescribed duties out of fear is passion. How in the renunciation in the mode of passion, it is out of just fear, right? But dutifully performing one's prescribed duties with detachment is renunciation goodness. So renunciation goodness is basically not having any attachment. Such renouncers suffer no reaction. So ultimately, if there will be no reaction, then there will be no birth. Because reactions, if reactions are there, then the birth has to be there, right? And so in the first part, 12 shlokas, we learn this 18:1 to 12. So Arjuna Vacha Sanyasya Mahabaho Tattvam Ichhami Veditum Dhagasya cha Rishikesha Prathak Keshi Nisudana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Arjun said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, that is Tyaga, and of the renounced order of life, that is Sannyasa, O killer of the Keshi demon, master of the senses. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right. So here, basically in the first part, we all learned about the, in the, it is this chapter is similar to the second chapter, right? In the second chapter also, Krishna explains everything regarding, right? What is, all the answers as, of the Arjuna is given. And with that, and the Karma Yoga, the Jnana Yoga, the Dhyana Yoga, and the part of Bhakti Yoga is also explained. But here again, Krishna is summarizing everything, right? So it starts with the renunciation, right? It was started with the renunciation. That time also, Arjuna also asking for who is renounced, what is knowledge, what is what is soul, and all this knowledge and all this renunciation. He was confused again in the for the summarization of everything, right? Who is the true renunciator? He is basically asking here, right? So in the first part, we learned about ultimately the first six chapter also end up into the yogi namapi sarvesham madgate antaratma, right? Ultimately the bhakti yogi is the ultimate yogi, right? The Krishna's opinions, it is like that, right? In the second part, it's all bhakti yogi, right? Opulences of the Lord, right? How and in the ninth, the confidential knowledge, right? It is all there. And in the Jnana Yoga part, we learn the various, there are three modes of material nature, in which one is acting in different charity mode, food is there, renunciation is in, everything is in, is actually with the link to the three modes of material nature. In order to go above that, the detachment should be there. Detachment, the weapon of detachment should be there in order to the transcendental tree, the banyan tree we learned about in the last chapter. Now the summarization of everything is being going on here, right? So Arjuna is just asking that who is the purpose of renunciation? What is the need for renunciation, right? One will think that what is the need for renunciation, right? What is the purpose of renunciation? Okay, I have left everything, but what was the purpose, right? And of the renounced order of life, the sannyasa life, right? O killer of KC demon, master of the senses, right? He wished to understand basically what is the purpose of the sannyasi, what is the purpose of why one is doing some tyaga, what is the purpose of it, right? For he is addressing when KC Nisudana in order to kill his doubts, and just like he kills the demon KC, right? So and the master of senses, because the sannyasi is trying to overcome his senses. So master of the Rishikesha can only tell. So he is very intelligent. So addresses as per his as per the question, right? So Krishna answers, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamayanam Karmanam Nasam Sannyasam Kavayo Viduha Sarvakaram Phalatyagam Prahustagam Vichakshanaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
The Supreme Lord said to give up the results of all activities is called renunciation, tyaga, by the wise, and that state is called renounce the order of life, sannyasa, by great learned man. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Supreme Lord is saying, right, to give up the results, to give up the results of the activities, right? This is true renunciation, right? We don't want to leave the activities, rather leaving the results of the activity is the. So Krishna himself is saying that what is the tyaga, right? So one who is leaving all the activities and going to the directly to temple, it will not suffice. One needs to give the results of that, because if one is going to the temple but he is asking something for that, he has some desire, some material desires of that, then that is still not renunciation, right? That is falgu vairagya, right? We need to do yukta vairagya, right? So karma phala tyagam, sarva karma phala tyagam, right? Karma phala tyagam, Krishna is saying, and that state is called renounced order of life, right? That is the sannyasa. So the tyaga is basically the results of the activity should be renounced, right? So by great learned man, it is said that the sannyasa, it is renounced order of life, and that state in which results is given up is basically that is sannyasa order, and that is called as true renunciation, right? Karma phala tyagam, right? त्यागम दोषवदेत्तेके कर्म प्राहुर्मनीषिणः यज्ञदान तपः कर्म न त्याजम इति चापरे. हे कृष्ण.
Hare, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे
Some
कृष्ण.
learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty, yet other sages maintain that act of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So some some learned men. So he's saying some learned men declare that the all kinds of fruitive should be given up, right? All kinds of fruitive activities. It is, some learned man. He's saying there's some wise person, but there are yet another sages who maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, penance should never be abandoned, right? But he's saying that sages are there who still say, because someone will say that okay, animal slaughter is good as per the Vedas, and animal slaughter is not good as per the Vedas, right? Because some sages will say that okay, animal slaughter is not good, right? But some sages will say, besides for the Vedas, the animal slaughter is good, because at earlier times what used to happen, either the animal used to get and some elevated form of, again he was born into the animal life, again rejuvenated, right? That kind of thing, or the animal was getting the human form of life, right? But it is not for the Kali Yuga, because all the powers, the powers which had, with the within the mantras and all, it is all gone, because no purity is left, right? The purity is not left. Due to that, no mantra is, basically acting, so much tapasya is not there, so much purity is not there, right? So it was like that, right? So some sages, so Krishna is mentioning that, some sacrifice, charity, penance should never be abandoned. Some sages are saying that, right? And he will clarify it whether it is to be done or not to be done, right? And some men declare that all kinds of, right, all kind of whatever fruitive activity is there, some learned man, they think that some learned man is there, they basically are, all kinds of fruitive activities should be abandoned. So now Krishna will say that what is his opinion, right? So that is just just he is trying to create some background in that this is to be thought of, right? यज्ञदान तपा कर्म न त्याज्यम कार्यम एव तत् यज्ञदानम तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare
So
Krishna,
we see
Prabhuji.
we
Krishna.
skipped four, sloka number
Or it did
four.
not come. Okay. Okay. Just okay. Just right, Mataji. Just a minute. Go by this then.
Can I read from the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhuji?
Wait a minute, Mataji. I will just
Okay,
share.
okay, Prabhuji.
Right, Mataji. I will. 18.4 निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भारत सत्तम त्यागो हि पुरुष वैराग्यः त्रिविधा संप्रकृतितः. हरे कृष्ण. यश माधुरी.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण.
O best of the Bharatas, now hear my judgment and about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of three kinds. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So renunciation is basically, of three kinds, right? He's saying that now he is basically is here to give his opinion, right? That this is my opinion, right? What he will tell now, that is basically mentioned. Yeah, it is also mentioned that renunciation is also of three types. Mode of goodness in renunciation will be there. Mode of passion renunciation will be there. Mode of ignorance renunciation will be there. So various modes are there in the renunciation part also, right? So that is to be understood, right? So this will be explained in the next shloka. यज्ञदन तपा कर्म न त्याज्यम कार्यम एव तत् यज्ञोदानम तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम. हरे कृष्ण. यस माताजी.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे
Acts
कृष्ण.
of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So acts of, and so Krishna's opinions. Now Krishna's opinions is here that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up but should be performed. Right? He is not saying not to be give up. Right? Don't give up those things. Right? Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. For example, one is a sannyasi, and his own disciple, they want to become the grahastha, right? So what do you think the sannyasi should do? They should get them married as a priest, and they should get them married or not. Think about it. What should he do? Shall he recommend that, okay, don't be a grahastha, become a brahmachari? What should he do? The sannyasi.
Prabhuji, Krishna is advocating that one should become a grhastha, and in the grhastha only you can perform, you can be sannyasi. Like you can do the tyaga of all the activities. You can renounce the result of all the activities.
That is fine, Mataji. But what a sannyasi should do? For example, we become a sannyasi, right? Now we have some disciple, okay? We have some disciple, we have two disciple, and they want to get married with each other, right? They want to enter the grasta life. So what do you recommend for the sannyasi? That he should be become the priest and get them married or not? What should he recommend?
Prabhuji, since Prabhupada ji had he got many of his disciples married, so it must be a done thing because that is what he had done. But he
Yes.
also said this is not a done thing, but I'm doing it as a sannyasi. I'm still doing it.
Right, Madhuri. So the basically the sannyasi's duty is his duty is to perform, right? So he will perform all the sacrifice, charity, penance, the sacrifice. The yagna should be the grahastha life yagna should be performed, and because it's not like that one has become sannyasi, so everyone else is also will become sannyasi, or they don't have a get any chance to elevate. How one will elevate as per the shastra? By following the prescribed duties as per the shastra. So grahastha life, in the grahastha life at least one will not be wandering here and there, right? So there will be controlled, the things will be controlled, and the Vedas as well as the scriptures one will go on. So the duty one will get elevated by that by who is the sannyasi, right? So it is his duty also, so that he the charity, the sacrifice, the charity one is doing in the as a grahastha. For example, one is a grahastha, right? So if he stop the charity, then so what will he do then? Because his money is also not being used for the for some pious things, or some transcendental things, right? So charity should also not be stopped, because is as per the Vedas, charity needs to be done at the right time, at the right place, to the right person, right? It is recommended. So charity in the previous, so it is a summary of all the chapters. So in the previous, in the Jnana Parta only, we have learned that to the right place at the right time and right people, the charity should be done. So it should not be stopped, right? And so some are saying that fruitive activity should be stopped. Some learned men are saying that, right? You will come across some learned men that abandon everything, right? But that is not the case with the Vedas, right? The Vedas are not recommending, right? One needs to know that at what position one is in. One need to gauge his position by these the Gyan Yoga, that what in which mode I am in. As per that, he need to proceed to go to the mode of goodness and become transcendental, go above the mode of goodness then. So all this sacrifice, charity, and penance should be done, right? So indeed sacrifice, all these things. So what it will do, it will purify even the great souls, right? So all these things need to be done, right? So Krishna's opinion is this, right? एतानि अपि तु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति मयि पार्थ निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण.
All these activities should be performed without any expectation of result. They should be performed as the matter of duty. O son of Pritha, that is my final opinion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So all these activities, right? All these activities, without any expectation of result. Sannyasi for renunciation of the results, no expectation of results should be there, right? Then only one will be, one can avoid basically the reactions, right? One needs to avoid the reaction, right? For that, one needs to let go of the results. So they should be performed as a matter of duty, just as a duty, For example, in the Vedic times, the Brahmana was always happy whether he gets something, or whether he does not get something. A Brahmana always happy. He has the knowledge. He is performing his duty. If someone says, some yagna needs to be done, he will do that. Someone wants to give the dakshina, they will give, they will not give, and he doesn't care, right? He's just performing his as matter of duty, not attached to it. So son of Pratha, that is my final opinion. So his final opinion is saying that all these activities should be performed without any expectation, or no expectation should be there, right? Just perform your duty, right? For example, one is, that like Namaskar Prabhuji says that, always, do 8 8 hours, 8 8 8 rule should be followed. 8 hours for, for your meditation, want to the Lord's service, devotional service, 8 hours for the for some grasta life or earning something, right? And 8 hours to the, for your bodily things, right? For sleeping, for, for eating and all, right? So this is all like 8 and 8 and 8, 3 8 8 plus 8 plus 8 rules should be followed, right? So without even all these 8 rules should be without an expectation. Whatever, in that 8 hours you get devotional service with the mercy of the Lord, that is fine. Whatever, 8 hours you get, get out of it, something out of it, some Lakshmi out of it, that is also fine. So it should be like that, right? नियतस्य तु संन्यासः कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहात् तस्य परित्यागास्तामसा परिकीर्तितः. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे
Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Like similar to the example of sannyasi, right? If the prescribed duty of his is, is to perform the yagna, someone is the grahastha, and just because he is a sannyasa, it should be not like that. The others are not, eligible to become, come above and go to the ultimately go back to Godhead, right? So one must should always do prescribed duties. Even if a sannyasa, he should do and the prescribed duties, whatever is recommended, right? But if one gives up the prescribed duty, then renunciation will be in the mode of ignorance. So a sannyasi can also be in a mode of ignorance if he is not doing his prescribed duty. A grahastha can also be in the mode of ignorance if he is not living his life as per the Vedic scriptures. Vanprastha is also like that. Brahmachari is also like that, right? So one comes into the mode of ignorance, and any part of life, if the prescribed duties, as per the Shastra, it is not being done. It is just mode of ignorance. That renunciation is basically the mode of ignorance. One has left that thing, but still, one has done some tyaga, one has become a sannyasi, and is not doing his prescribed duties, then it is just mode of ignorance. So what, a sannyasi can also become like that. So dukkhamite vayat
Prabhuji,
karma. Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry, Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
Prabhuji, what category does marriage fall into? Sacrifice, charity, penance, or prescribed duty?
Marriage. Matari, marriage is a grahastha life, na? Marriage is a grahastha life.
But a sannyasi performing the marriage, what category does it fall into?
No,
Like,
no, he is not performing Mataji. He is not marrying. He is not getting married. He is performing the yagna, which is for the marriage, Mataji. A sannyasi is not marrying himself, not getting into the grahastha life. He is into the sannyasa life. But he is the priest, right? The sannyasa is the priest basically, right? He has the purity, he can perform the yagnas, right? He knows how to perform the yagna. So for the grahastha, he need to perform the yagna, right? In order to, so that they can enter into the grahastha life. That is his duty, right, Matali? The devotional service is his duty. If he
right,
does not
Prabhuji.
does that, then that is mode of ignorance basically. That is
Right,
what
Prabhuji.
Lord is saying, Matali.
Right. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Right.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So dukkham, okay. Proceeded on. दुःखमिति यत्कर्म कायक्लेशभयात् त्यजेत् स कृत्वा राजसं त्यागं नैव त्यागाफलं लभेत्. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण.
Anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of the bodily discomfort, it is said to be have renounced. It is said to have renounced in the moods of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of the renunciation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So suppose out of bodily discomfort, we don't get up in the morning, right? For the Mangal Arati, right? For the Mangal Arati, we don't get up, just We just want to, this is, this is cold winter season, and we just want to sleep, so even if, if one is one is into the, one is practicing Krishna consciousness, right? So his renunciation is, he will not sleep more than, or more than some sufficient hours, like 6 hours it is recommended, right? So more than that he will not sleep, right? 6 to 7 hours he will not sleep more. If he is still sleeping just out of the bodily discomfort, right, out of the fear of, he will be little drowsy after waking up, right? All those things are there, right? Just to, get some troublesome things, it will be trouble to, get up in the winter, right? Just out of that one is not doing. So that renunciation, which, renunciation of the sleep, which one was doing, basically is in the mode of passion, right? So this prescribed duty was to get up timely in the morning, attend Mangal Arati or do Mangal Arati and go to the temple and all, right? So this whatever prescribed duty one needs to do, and just out of being a troublesome activity, it is a challenging activity, so that is in the mode of passion. So one will think, okay, I am a Krishna conscious, I do the japa and not wake up in the morning. No, we are into the mode of passion, right? So it's a mode of goodness will only come, when we do some renunciation, we do the prescribed duties as a prescribed duty as a Krishna conscious, right? So Krishna conscious is like that, we need to do the prescribed duties. Unless we are doing the prescribed duty, it is all okay. If we are not doing, then it is all into the mode of passion or ignorance, right? So this is what it is being recommended here, right? So one is in the renounce order of some prescribed duties there, but he is not doing out of the fear of bodily discomfort, and it is mode of passion. So such action never leads to elevation of renounced. Whatever one is renunciation doing, that activity will not become a renunciation, right? That activity will never become, right? So Krishna has explained that. Where is 9? Right. So ninth is there. कार्यमिति एव कत्कर्मा नियतं क्रियते अर्जुन संगम त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव स त्याग सात्विको मतः. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Translation.
Krishna Prabhuji. O Arjun, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done and renounces all material association and all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So when it is all the prescribed duties is, it is performed, as per whatever it is has to be done, it has been done, and renounces all material association, all attachment to the fruits is his renunciation that mode of goodness, right? So the person here in the purport it is written, a man working Krishna consciousness in a factory does not associate himself with the work of the factory nor with the workers of the factory. From the heart, he is not associated, right? Like the father of Srila Prabhupada, what he used to say that I am just going to the. He was a shopkeeper. He was going to shop just for just for going there, not literally wanting to earn something out of. Okay, just need to go there. Okay, so that is was his activity, right? Rather, he was always thinking of the Lord, right? So, a Krishna conscious person in a factory does not associate with him with the work of the factory, right? Or nor with the workers of the factory. They don't associate. He simply works for Krishna. And when he gives up the result for Krishna, he is acting transcendently, right? So, everything he is doing for the Yat Karoshi Yad Ashnachi, Yad Durosi Dadashi, and whatever he is doing for the Krishna, right? He is following the principles, in the mentioned in the ninth chapter, right? यत् करोषि यदश्नासि यज्जुहोसि ददासि यत् तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत् कुरुष्व मदर्पणम. Whatever you are doing, just do as an offering to me, right? Whenever it is, when it is like that, so it will be like in the mode of goodness, basically, right? So he learned the goodness. Just okay. न द्वेष्ट्ये अकुशलं कर्म कुशलेनानुसज्जते त्यागी सत्त्वा समाविष्टो मेधावी चिन्न संशयः. हरे कृष्ण. Yes, mother. 18.10.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
The intelligent renouncer situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful or of inauspicious work, or not nor attached to the auspicious work, has no doubt about work. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So one who is intelligent renouncer, right? One who is intelligent situated in mode of goodness. One who is intelligent, he will be in the mode of goodness, right? Because no, he is not caring about the results, right? Not caring about the results. He just left out all the results, activities results to the Lord, right? He is neither hateful nor hateful of unauspicious work, nor attached to the auspicious work, right? So he is never, not attached to the inauspicious work also not to the auspicious, has no doubts about the work, right? Nothing is inauspicious for him, nothing is auspicious for him, right? So that is the state of mind of a intelligent renouncer, right? Sorry. Hare Krishna. So, the first part, one who is in the mode of goodness, right? One who is in the mode of goodness, in neither hateful of auspicious work of nor attached to auspicious work, which means one does not hate anyone nor anything that troubles his body, right? So he's be like that, right? He's not hating anybody, right? Works in proper place at proper time, right? He will not be, doing activities which is, not beneficial for the society or something like that, will not be at the, improper places without fearing the troublesome effects. He will not fear anything because everything is done as per the will of the Lord. It's Sarva Karanam Karana. He is the Vasudevam Sarvamiti, right? So he has no doubts about the work, right? So that is a intelligent renouncer, right? So he, like Srila Prabhupada, he left everything, in the mode of goodness, right? Above the mode of goodness, right? He was nor hateful for the inauspicious, nor attached to the auspicious work, nothing is attached. He's just there, he just used to write the books so that we can read it, right? So he doesn't hate anyone, nor any troubles with his body. He's not not hating anything. He's makes everything, every place a proper place, a proper time, right? Without, he doesn't feared anything, right? Whether to go to the ship which will, which will be a, which will basically lead to the death of him, right? So it will be basically very, he was never fearful of that, right? He was always, always, without fear the troublesome effects, right? So that is the state of mind of a pure devotee, intelligent renouncer, right? So all the gurus, right? So Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, right? Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj and Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, right? So all the gurus, we see that, all are the intelligent renouncer. Like Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he was a, district magistrate in the, Jagannath Puri, but he wrote around 100 books, right? 100 books. And the time came, he retired from his, service life, and when he was engaged in the service also, then also he was practicing the Krishna conscious, right? So that is the true, intelligent renouncer, basically, right? Okay, okay, 11th is not there, right? 11, 18 to 11. Nahi deha brata sakyam tyaktum karmani sheshatah yastu karma phala tyagi satyagiti avidityate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It
Okay.
is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities, but he who renounces the fruit of action is called one who has truly renounced. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So it is because it is impossible, because we are embodied, right? We are embodied, and we are. It is impossible for for us to leave up all the activities, right? But the fruits of the action that can be renounced, because one is not thinking about the fruits of the action, whether I will succeed or not, but he is just doing it as a matter of duty. Then that will be truly renounced, right? Because some activity one needs when because mana sansani indrani prakriti sani karshati, right? Always Then we have the six senses, which includes the mind, which is always engaged. It is very difficult to control, right? And Krishna is saying that, right? So it is very difficult to control that, right? But still, the results of the action, results of the on the activity, the fruits of the action can be given up, right? So in the Bhagavad Gita, that one can never give up any work anytime, right? Always we are doing. Krishna is saying that even if sleeping, because mind is restless. One is suppose taking a afternoon nap, right? So Srila Prabhupada used to say that don't take, because the mind is not resting. Mind is there. Mind will wander here and there. Right? So therefore, he who works for Krishna and does not enjoy the fruitive results, who offers everything to Krishna, is actually a renouncer, right? So everything offered, Yat Karush, Tat Kurushmavat Madarpanam, right? Everything offered to the Lord. There are many members of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness who work very hard in their office or in the factory or some other place, and whatever they earn, give to the society, right? So like the Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. So what he used to, he used to do some service in some restaurant, right? Whatever he used to earn, he used to give it to the Srila Prabhupada, just for earning for the ISKCON, for so that the society, develops high and high. Just for that, he used to go and sweep at the floor at the one restaurant, so that much he used to do. He was a very intellectual person, he was in a very gold medalist in the college, and like that he is also a very wealthy person, right? But still but still out of out of, with the due to the mercy of the Lord, and he is a great devotee of the Lord. For that, for serving his spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, he used to do that. So they were used to work very hard in their office or factory, wherever, and they give whatever they earn to the society. Such highly elevated souls are actually sannyasis, right? Because one will see that okay, he is going to the job, right? He is not a sannyasi. No, but he is whatever he is earning, hard-earned money is going to the society, and so the Krishna consciousness is basically propagated, right? If we don't read the books of the Srila Prabhupada, that is also there is that is also the nama prada, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master, right? We say in the morning to disobey the orders of spiritual master, which is he used to say that I am because he said he has given these books to for us to read it, right? So it is one says that we are not getting faith, we are not so read Prabhupada books, right? We need to read Bhagavad Gita, we need to read Bhagavatam, we need to read his books. You read his books, right? So that your conviction, your faith increases by that only, because whenever you leave it, your mind will wander, right? Wander like anything. So become a sannyasi in whatever place one is in. One is in is a in at the end of life, and and it is the last stages of life. Still, he can be at home and be a sannyasi, right? Because he is always thinking of the Lord only, right? So that is a sannyasi. So it is clearly outlined here how to renounce the fruits of work, and for what purpose fruits should be renounced. For what purpose? For serving Krishna, for pleasing Krishna. For pleasing Krishna is our goal, right? If that is done, then that is basically a sannyasi's life, being in a home also, but still living a life of a sannyasi, right? अनिष्टम इष्टम मिश्रम च त्रिविधम कर्मणा फलम भावति अत्यागिनाम चेत्या न तु संन्यासिनाम क्वचित्. हरे कृष्ण. Yes.
Hare, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
For one who is not renounced the threefold fruits of actions, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, occur after death, but those who are in the renounced order of life have no such results to suffer or enjoy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is a better condition, right? Because if we are after the results, if we are after the we have some desire of that result, what is going to happen? We will expect in other life, right? That is basically answer which is being told. Hare Krishna, sorry. So basically, what is happening? If there are results, then there is basically another life we are expecting. Whatever desire we have, undesirable desire, whatever fruits of action we are, the threefold fruits of action, desire, desirable, mixed accrue, right? Whatever is there. So after that, we are expecting some results, right? So that results we need to get. So we need to have a body, right? So what will happen? Again and again, the cycle of birth and death will continue, right? So what is recommended here? But those who are in the renounce order of life, renounce order of life means being a grahastha by becoming a renounce order of life, being a sannyasi becoming a renounce order of life, right? We into the mode of goodness, we are acting it for the pleasing Krishna, right? One is doing for his pleasing his guru, for his spiritual master, for his for pleasing Krishna, then it is just the renounce order of life. So what will happen? There will be no result if in the bank account there is no transaction is there to give money or take out. No no loan is there to the bank to give away, and no bank account, no money is there into the bank account to encash it. So what will happen? There will be no person also, right? So no person is also there. So since the account does not exist, right? So account does not exist, it will say, because no loan is there, neither some deposit is there. So what will happen in the bank, right? There will be no account of that name, right? So similarly, we are creating an account in this world by again and again desiring some result of our action, right? Some result we have desired, that just binds us with this world, right? So the three folds, one needs to get renounce of the fruits of the result, no other desire, neither desire nor desire, mixed accrue, something like that in the between, right? We don't desire, no account will be there, and we will not come back into this world, right? To suffer or to enjoy, right? Both are bad for this world, right? So okay, we enter to the second part. The second part is basically the conclusion of the Sankhya and Vedanta. Sankhya philosophy is basically we are not the body, we are the soul, right? That is Sankhya philosophy, and then there is Vedanta sutras are there. That the one is the object, one is the knowledge, and one is the object goal of the knowledge, right? Which is Krishna. So actions directed by the super soul being bring freedom from the reaction, right? If we listen to the Paramatma, we listen to the super soul, then no reaction will come. So Krishna cites Vedanta and analyzes activities that's comprised of five factors. This is to help us perform activities without becoming bound, right? What are the five factors? Basically, which, by which activity is done. Most prominent of these factors is the super soul, right? We have learned in the previous chapter also, right? The five factors are there, and the ultimate factor, the luck factor, one who says that is basically a super soul, who is basically the Updashta Anumanta, right? He is the Updashta Anumanta, right? He is also the permitter and the overseer of activities, right? So acting under the super soul's direction, one is unaffected by reactions to his actions, right? So if we act as per the super soul's directions, then no reaction will come basically. Right. So, Almighty Arjuna, learn from me of the five factors which bring about the accomplishment of all action. These are declared in Sankhya philosophy to be the place of action, the performer, the senses, the endeavor, and the ultimately the super soul. Right. So anything has to be done, it needs to be done, basically needs five things, right? Five things. The place of action. Right. Suppose we want to construct some building. Right. So this place of action should be there. Some land should be there, right? The place of action is there. Now, in order to construct the building, the performer should come, right? One wants to build that building, right? The build that building. Okay, the performer has come, the company has come, the performer has come. Now we need some senses, right? Some hands will be needed by the workers, right? Some hands are there, some the brain should be needed, right? So all these things are is needed. Okay, the senses, the walking sense, the legs should be there, the eyes should be there, the listening senses, the ear should be there, right? The speak mouth should be there, the whole body is needed, the senses should be there, right? So senses are there. Okay, now if senses are there but one doesn't know how to construct the building, so that will be difficult. So endeavor should also be there, the endeavor should, the skills and the endeavor should also be there. The endeavor that yes, we need to know, if the endeavor is there, then one will learn how to make that building, and ultimately one will be able to make that building. So endeavor should be there, that is very important, right? Ultimately, but the endeavor is there, the performer is there, the place of action, everything is there. But what happened on that day, everything was there, he knows how to construct. On that day, a flood has come. right? The flood has come on that, on that land. What will happen? One cannot make that building, right? So that is the basically ultimately the super soul, ultimately the super soul, the Anumanta cha, Udashtanumanta cha, Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara. So he is the permitter and the overseer, right? He is the permitter basically. So ultimately the super soul is needed. So if we think that we karta ham vimudatma, right? Karta ham iti manyate vimudatma, right? Ankara Vimudatma, right? Out of the false ego, if we assume that I am the doer, right, then we are in a big trouble, right? Because the one who manages, okay, the place of action, the performer, the senses endeavor, that the one is a good manager. But the fifth thing, one is forgot, the luck is not there, the super soul is not there, then what will happen? It cannot be done. Right, so that is the importance of the ultimately the super soul, right? So super soul needs to be there, right? If it is not there, then it cannot be done, right? So this is the Sankhya philosophy, right? So panchetaनि mahabaho karanani nibodha me sankhya kartante prukhtani siddhaye sarva karmanam, right? This was the shloka, right? So 18.14, adhishthanam tatha karta karanam cha pratak vidham vividas cha pratak cheshta daivam chaivat matra panchamam. Hare Krishna. Translation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
The
Krishna.
place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the five factors of action. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this shloka is important, right? Adhishthanam tatha karta. Karta should be there. The body should be the karanam. Karanam, the performer, the chapathak vidham. Various senses. Vividash chapathak cheshta. The many different kinds of endeavor. Daivam chaivatra panchamam. Ultimately, Daivam chaivatra panchamam. Ultimately, the super soul, right? It is all needed, right? So one who says that I am the doer, he is the fool number one, right? Doer not the one is not the doer, right? 18:15 शरीरवान् मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण.
Whatever right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind, or speech is caused by these five factors. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, right? So these five factors, whatever right or wrong a man is performing, right, through body, through his senses, right, through his mind, or through speech, is caused by these five factors. These five factors are needed for anything which is to be done by the mind, but it is to be done by the speech, or it is to be done by the body, right? For the speech also, the Lord is permitting, or the mind also, Lord is permitting, or the body also, Lord is permitting, right? So all the three things, it is, this is the our this is some independence. One thing that I am the doer, right? He is thinking like that, so everything is caused by these five factors. Tatraivam sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tuyam pashyati krata buddhitva nasha pashyati durmatiya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Therefore,
Krishna.
one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the five factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. Hare Krishna.
Right, Hare Krishna. So he is not Pashyati Akrata Buddhi Tvam, right? He is not Atmanam Kevalam Tuya, right? He is not the doer. He is not, he is, who is thinking that he is the doer, is not very intelligent. Pashyati Akrata Buddhi Tvam, na Pashyati Durmataiha, right? So he cannot see things as they are, right? But who is in knowledge, they will see the things as they are. They will see that one is doing something, it is just out of ignorance, it's just out of passion, it's just out of ignorance, right? So various modes one can see. You can see that one is person is acting in some mode basically, right? So he's not acting out of his just it is just condition soul, right? So these five factors is also into the play. One should not assume that everything that has been done is has done by himself, right? So that is not true, right? So the five causes cooperatively perform every action, right? The super soul, all our activities depend on his will and sanction. If his not will is there, no sanction is there, it will not happen, whatever we do. Soul, the doer is there, the doer should be there, the doer is there, and the endeavor or effort should be there, right? Senses or instruments of action should be there, and the place of action, the body. Both right and wrong action performed by the body, mind, and speech. All these contain under this five factors. All these five factors causes the whatever done by the body, whatever done by the mind, whatever done by speech, right? That for the speech, the doer should be there, right? Some effort should be there. If you don't speak, you cannot speak. Some senses, the mouth should be there, and you know how to speak. That is the endeavor efforts. Some language you need to speak. Place of action, the body should be there, right? The soul should be there. Soul is not there in the body, one cannot speak. Then the super soul should be there, right? Whether he will be able to speak or not speak there. For example, one is shouting in a crowded marketplace. So super soul is not sanctioned that he is to be listened, right? So that is basically how the super soul basically acting in the background, right? Similar to the mind, right? Similar to the mind. So if one is one is having all the dhyana, is all the meditation on the Krishna consciousness, then then what will happen? He will not go here and there. But if it is not there, then he will wander here and there. So mind is like always always doing some activity. Body is there, a religious activity, whatever one is doing, right? Everything is five causes factor, wrong actions and the right actions, everything is there, right? So work done against the principles of scripture injunctions are wrong actions, or work done as per the scripture injunctions are basically as per the prescribed scripture directions are basically religious, right? So dharma is only fixed things, right? It is not that some Mohammedan followers are doing religious things, right? And we are doing some religious things. No, it is mentioned, if it is mentioned in the as said by the Lord or his messenger, then it is as per the prescribed duties, right? It comes under the prescribed duties. It is right actions basically, right? So it should be mentioned. It should be mentioned in the scriptures. If scriptures mentions, then it is religious. If it is scriptures not mentions, and we out of something we out of mental concoction we innovate our own things, then it is just religious things, right? So that is adharma. This is dharma, right? Okay, so Hare Krishna, we will end here. Start from 19 shloka tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Okay. Any doubt on today's chapter? Hare Krishna. Till this shloka.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
chapter 2 is also the summary, and chapter 18 is also the summary of entire Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, Matari. The Gita summarize is basically chapter 2. But ultimately, Matari, what happens? The conclusion is the chapter 18. What happens, Matari? Suppose one is a teacher, right? So in the starting, he will tell that this is my index. Okay, this is I will be telling you. So in the brief, everything he told. So in the second chapter, he does that. But in the end, the teacher, what does the teacher does? That okay, in the end, he concludes by whatever he has thought. Again, so that summarize is there, and then the conclusion is also there. Not only summarization, the conclusion. Because in the starting, conclusion is not given. So in the starting, the summarization was the whole Bhagavad Gita was given, right? But the last chapter is also the conclusion, the ultimate conclusion. What is your ultimate opinion? Krishna will say, Sarma Dharman Parityajanam, right? So that is the ultimate conclusion. So that's why summarization plus conclusion is given, right? So that the takeaway, because whatever at the end you will remember more, right? So it is at the end, all the everything is there in the 18th chapter. Right, Mataji.
And Prabhuji, one more this thing I wanted to ask you. Prabhuji, many a times Krishna gives his own opinion and he also gives a reference of sages. Is there any,
Yes.
I mean, what could be the, like, I would like to understand more about it, Prabhuji.
Yes, Matari. Basically, Matari, in this chapter, right, he has said the learned man is saying, the sages are saying, right? So that, so that he is, he is not, he is on, because, so much time has occurred, and so many great sages have also come, right? So great learned men also come, right? They are learned, but, talking like a fool, that also sometimes happens, right? So he is always, always see that, okay, this is, you can see that, okay, so in order to, that it is, coming from the from the world, what one is understanding he want to say, and what his opinion is that he want to say, that basically he is neglecting that, he is trying to rectify it, right? Whatever one has said, what is his opinion and what is others opinion, that is the bifurcation he basically wants to say basically here, right? So that his opinion is, because Krishna's opinion is more mattered, right? So for a bhakta, some sages are saying that he will having some doubt, and because he understands Arjuna's manosthiti, basically, his consciousness he understands. So some sages are saying that, but finally, we need to hear what Lord is saying. Whatever Lord is saying, we need to understand that and we need to follow it. So that's why he differentiates, okay, this is, someone is this saying, but ultimately this needs to be done, right? So for clarifying it, just for clarification, just for comparison, he gives that. Nothing more than that, Mataji, right?
Yeah, right, Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Okay, Mataji, we will end then. Right. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।